Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are gonna kick off the week by talking all things makeup brushes. A lot of you guys have been requesting this, not even just recently, but for years. I don't think I've sat down and done like my favorites from my entire collection regarding brushes video ever. I have tried so many different brushes, from very expensive to the very affordable. And today we're not just going over one brand, we have many brands. So we're going to talk about everything that I would take with me for myself on a trip, like my very favorites when I narrow it down. We're gonna start with some IT Cosmetics, just because the brush that's sitting in front of me that is like the most giant is this guy right here. This has been so good to me. They have a few different options as far as from the different ranges. This is the all over face powder brush. This is from the Live Beautifully range. This brush is just so soft. It is like an angel kissing your face, and you are going to swirl either bronzer, powder. Sometimes I even like to reserve this clean, so that after I have done all of my makeup, you know, with my contour and highlight and blush, and I have different shades on my face, I'll take a clean, large brush like this and just kind of swirl things together. It's so soft that you can do that, and it's also great for taking bronzer down the neck. It's just a must-have brush that is really, like, it almost looks offensively like, what is this? Like, it sticks out of my little brush jar like, I'm the giant. But this one is so good. This is a blush brush from IT. I have two of these, basically the same thing. Either one is great. This one with the silver handle is the Flawless Blush. Now what I like about these, they are both very soft, but they have kind of a taper where you can get the apple of the cheek, but it's not as wide up here. So you're gonna get less product up here, and you're really gonna focus that color where you want it, as far as having a really rosy apple of the cheek. It blends product out beautifully. I love this. If you want a more natural looking blush, then you might enjoy something like this from Bobbie Brown. This one I think is a fantastic blush brush. I love grabbing color right up here and just almost on its side, sweeping the blush like this. Now this is going to really soak in some of the blush that you're using because it is a natural bristle. It's not like blush is a wet product where it's really going to grab and absorb the product, but you will notice that you're going to get more pigmentation with a synthetic brush like this versus a natural one. This one is really expensive. It is very nice. I've had this for a long time, and I just like the shape, the handle, like everything is very nice quality as far as this is concerned. And this is the Bobbie Brown blush brush. Also from IT Cosmetics, this is the Effortless crease brush, and this is one of those magical crease brushes that is just fantastic. You grab your transition color, it's nice and fluffy, and you can get in here, which is, you know, your transition is not your lid, it's not your brow bone, it's this area right here. You can go in and just use windshield wiper motions, and it's going to distribute the perfect amount of color really lightly. It's going to buff it out. The shape of this is nice and wide, and it just, this one is just a favorite. I always know that if I'm in a hurry, especially, and I just want to like throw a color in my crease, that I can grab this one and almost like be like not paying attention to the mirror and just be like, what? You know, like I'm doing 5 million things. Okay, my crease looks good. Mascara, we're done. Let's go to Sonia Kashuk. I talk about this brush all the time. I use this in tutorials all the time. I picked this up at Target. This blush brush, I don't know why, out of all of my blush brushes, I always go back to this one. You know, I will use my Bobbie Brown. I definitely love the IT Cosmetics one, but this guy right here, I have just washed and used over and over. You've seen this in so many tutorials. It just has the perfect shape to kind of really rosy up the cheek right here without getting any color back here. So again, it depends what you're looking for. This is a perfect apples blush kind of a guy right here, and I love this. Love the handle too. It's just really easy to hold on to with this kind of shape in the middle. Now let's jump to probably the most expensive brushes in my entire collection, and it took me 3 years to purchase these. Yes, 3 separate visits to IMATS when they were slightly discounted, and these are from Hakuhodo. This brush right here is my favorite brush for bronzing. It is a natural hair bristle. It has a nice slant to it, and you can just get right here with your bronzer And you can work that in circular motions and get the color nicely blended. It'll fit up here, put your bronzer on here, gets under the chin. It's just going to blend out your bronzer like a dream. This is so soft. I've washed this countless times and it is still in excellent shape. Nothing is loosening up with the ferrule right here. The handle is sturdy. It's just so well made. So if you can afford Hakuhodo brushes, I think any of them are a fantastic investment. I have a few crease brushes. This is the S146, which is really petite and slim, and I love this, especially if I've put on my wing liner and I want to deepen up that outer crease area. I can just dip right into a darker shade and go kind of in the crease and almost cut the crease a little bit on that outer edge, and it's just a fantastic brush. It just has such a nice shape. It's so small. I will even contour the nose with this. This one right here is the Hakuhodo S142. Same idea, just a little bit bigger, and I just love both of these so much. We're gonna do like high-low, high-low. My brush collection goes. Sometimes I annoy myself, seriously. Like I tell jokes and I'm like, what part of my brain thought that was funny and charming? Stop. Okay. I have a few Makeup Geek brushes here. I have the Face Buffer brush and I have the Foundation Stippling brush. Love these both for foundation. They just work like a dream. They are very affordable. They are wonderful. They are soft. They don't absorb too much product. They are synthetic. They are just so good. I've been using these for a long time as well. They aren't fraying much, and you know, I've washed them over and over and over, and I love these. Now this pencil brush from Makeup Geek is a must-have. I cannot live without this if I am packing on color on that lower lash line and I don't want to pack it too tight where I'm using a flat eyeliner type brush. This one really just focuses that color. You can blend it out a little bit if you want to with this guy, but I actually prefer taking a fluffier brush and then blending it out. This one is from Kevyn. We'll get to that. But this pencil brush is just beautiful. It's just important to have something in your toolkit that is this size. It can do so much for the lower lash line and even for smudging out the upper lash line. If you wanted to do a little bit of a smokier look, you can get a lot of use out of a pencil brush. What brush collection would be complete without a few MAC brushes? Now this one right here, the 208, is my very favorite for eyeliner. I used this today, and what I like is that I can get the sharpest wing, but it doesn't create too much thickness. This is so petite and teeny tiny and slim that it just makes applying any gel eyeliner a dream. This is the one that I use every single time I do gel liner, and I just think this is a game changer if you struggle with doing a winged liner or if you struggle with really packing on a tight line. It's just so nice. MAC 224. I think that if you've watched beauty videos for any amount of time, you have heard someone talk about this. It is just a standard crease brush. This was actually my first crease brush that I ever purchased. Like way back in the day, I remember saving up my money and I went to the MAC counter, and it was like a big deal for me because it was very expensive, of course, to me on like a babysitting budget. But I wanted a crease brush because I had read in a book that that is what you need to really, you know, blow that color out and make things blend really easily. I was really into blending even back then. And this brush is just, it's just a staple. It's a must-have for your crease. It's pretty affordable for what you get. I have that same brush from age like 14. Like I still have it. The wood is showing on the bottom, and it's kind of like a weird sentimental thing. Like it's my lucky brush. It's so crazy, but this is just a great, fantastic crease brush. I also really love the MAC 242. I just like this for packing on color on the lid. It's my favorite for that. It's just nice and slim, and it's wide, but not so wide that you're getting color everywhere. So this is great for foiling shadows as well. Let's move on to a little Zoeva, because this was a craze for a while, I think. I don't know. Maybe I missed the craze with Zoeva, but I do love a few of them very much. This face shape, number 110 from Zoeva, I think it is a perfect blending tool. It's like a mini foundation brush. So if you screw up anywhere, you can kind of like, oh, let me fix that. So this is a great brush to have on hand, something with this, you know, dome shape. that's really densely packed. And then this crease brush, the Luxe Petit Crease, the number 231, this would be my budget alternative for the Hakuhodo brush that's much slimmer, because you can do that same thing where it is so petite that you can just get right in here where you want to without having color be like boom, you know, like all over the lid. So this is very nice for detail work. Also have to give a shout out to the subscriber that sent me this Ebelin crease brush. Oh my goodness, if you can buy this at the drugstore where you live, you will not be disappointed. This is such a beautiful crease brush, similar to the effect that the It Cosmetics crease brush that I first showed you guys works. It just kind of fans the perfect amount of color in the crease. It doesn't, you know, distribute too much color. It just blends and blurs everything out. And I can't believe this is drugstore. I don't have anything else from this line because this was just this came in the mail to me like magic, and I love it so much. We all know that I tried out a few Morphe items recently. Comment section on that video was a little bit crazy, and I was reading the comments and a few people were like, oh my gosh, why are you slamming Morphe? And I'm like, I am not at all. In fact, I really love their brushes, and I had some pros and cons on the eyeshadow. All in all, I feel the majority of that review was really positive. I'll link that video below if you want to see more detail about Morphe items beyond just the brushes. But I have 3 here that I have fallen in love with very quickly, that I've been using every single day since I purchased my Morphe brushes, so I thought I would include them in my current favorite brushes. These are sitting on my vanity. I use them all today, and I just love these. So first off, we have the E36. Now I have to say the ferrules on these, they are a little bit loose. I would recommend cleaning Morphe brushes with a brush cleaner that is like this from Cinema Secrets. That's what's in here, that you can just spray on the brush and wipe off on a towel. If you submerge these in water, I feel like you're gonna have an issue with this piece flying off, because mine are already a little bit loose. I just wanna give you a heads up on that. But for the price, oh my goodness, amazing. Okay, so this is the E36. I am loving this for inner corner highlight. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good. But I also want to go and pick up another one because I like using this for concealer. If I have pigmentation areas, I like to kind of buff it in, and it works out really well. This guy right here, the M501, is a dream for highlight. So many people rave about this one being the best shape for highlight. The rave reviews are correct. This one is awesome. And then I also absolutely adore the M430. It's just a really nice synthetic, nice crease brush. I feel like the hairs on the tip are really long and not very dense at all. So when you get in, especially right here, you're just distributing the tiniest bit of color, and I am loving this. I have 2 of these. I've been using this from like the very beginning of my channel. I love Kevyn brushes. These 2 I've had for 5 years. 5 years. And everything about them, like there's nothing moving on them. The bristles are all in perfect shape, and I have blended the crap out of my face with these brushes. You would think that they would be more frayed, but they're not at all. So my favorite thing to do with this brush, this is the Kevyn Small Eyeshadow Flat Tip, is I will blend my lower lash line. This is how I take any type of color underneath and really buff and blend it out, and I will stay here for a good while and just blend, blend, blend. It just kind of blurs and allows that shadow to drop down a little bit and have a bit of a gradient. And these 2 are the favorite. So, so good for that. This is something I discovered this year. It's from Japonesque. This is such an awesome contour brush. This is the number 202, and it's bent so that you can have good precision and you can just go right in those hollows. The shape of the bristles are great for getting in there, but the actual way that you're able to hold it helps so, so much. Like even on the sides of the nose, it just gives you such great angles. I love this. It looks really weird just sitting kind of in your little brush jar, but it's so good. Also for contour, I have to point out that I love my Ita brush. I just do. I just feel like it gives you a really nice sharp line if you like that look. Really great for the nose as well. And I've just been using this so much over the past year that I had to mention it. And then I also like this guy right here, also from Nars. I love packing on, like if I'm not gonna bake, I will actually take a lighter type of a setting powder, and this is what I will do underneath my eyes. I've actually used this for bronzer. I've used this for highlight. It's just a very versatile brush because of its dome shape, and I really enjoy it. This is like the hidden gem of Sephora. You guys need to go and get this. It will change your lower lash game so much because you can actually get underneath here and comb out your lower lashes. You can also comb out your upper lashes. It's pretty awesome. I love how it's actually shaped kind of similarly to a lash curler, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of these separators usually are totally flat, and this one has a nice curve to it, so you can literally get right in there. And if you ever have an issue with mascara clumping, this will totally help you out. This has had a lot of, not hype, this has had a lot of like mixed reviews on YouTube, I feel. This is the Artist Oval 10, and this is so giant, but you literally put your foundation on. It is so densely packed that none of that foundation sinks into the lower portion of the brush. It leaves 0 brush strokes. It is designed for you to be the actual applier of the makeup, not just for a makeup artist. So you have this like handle that kind of bends a little bit, and I find myself putting my finger right here and I have a good hold on it, and it just gets the job done so quickly, beautifully. Your face looks flawless. Super expensive brush, but if you're into that kind of a thing, I would definitely say go for it. I recommend it. A lot of people I feel are showing off the smaller version, and I just like this big giant one because I feel like it just gets foundation on there so fast. So there you have it. Those are all of my must-have favorite brushes. These get the job done. How many times can I say that in one video? Oh my goodness. All right, I hope you enjoyed this one. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. It just lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and it does help me out. So thank you again for watching and hanging out. I love you guys. I hope you're having a good one, and I will see you next time. Mwah.